Hi Scott, thank you for joining us at MMA Plus and being here today. Firstly, London, you're in the city, how does it feel?
It's a beautiful city. We love being here, and this is my third time this year. And had a look, went to Buckingham Palace. I did all the touristy things. Went to Windsor Castle. It's just amazing. I mean, that's the one thing in the United States, we don't have that kind of history. Like the town I live in is 120 years old, right? So it's quite amazing. It's nice people, great food. I disagree with Kashuk. I think there's great food here, but we have great business relationships. But it's been a lot of fun.
And in terms of the city, why did you choose to come here and bring such a massive card? You could have come here and brought something smaller, maybe a smaller venue, just to warm the crowds up. But you've come and pulled out this huge one. Can you explain that the reasoning for that?
You know what? Last year we did the show British Invasion at the Mohegan Sun. We had Liam fighting, we had Paul fighting, we had Linton fighting, MVP fought. And it was really the first time collectively I said, you know what? There's so much talent over there. We got to go over there and throw something big because these guys deserve it. And then let's face it, with the relationship with Viacom, they now own Channel 5 and Spike UK's here, Spike USA supporting it. We talked to the guys internally. They said, look, let's go for it. Let's go over there and throw a big card. And why not make it as big as possible? So we booked the O2 and here we go.
I want to ask you, of course, we had the man MVP here. He's fighting this Friday as well. For him, depending on how that fight goes, do you guys have a few different opponents lined up potentially, or do you know right now who MVP is going to be fighting on July 16th?
There's not an opponent that we have that is signed and have a bout sheet, but there's a couple guys that I have in mind. I mean, Fernando Gonzalez is a guy that I think could be a good opponent, but there's a couple others too. So we'll see how he does on Friday, and then we'll decide from there.
I want to ask about the step up in competition for him, because it's been an admired and slow build for Michael Venom Page over in the United States of America. Was that always a plan with someone of the caliber of Michael Venom Page, or is that just how it's panned out?
I mean, Michael's the kind of kid that will fight anybody. He never said to me, I don't want to fight that guy. They'll fight anybody. So to me, we put some guys that we thought would be a tough test for him, but he's been knocking everybody out. But like you said, now it's time to step it up a little bit, and I think competition will get a little stiffer. But I'm confident, man. This guy is fast, super fast, charismatic, has explosion. I call him the Michael Jackson of MMA because he'll after he knocks you out, he'll dance on you, right? So to me, look, he's on the right path, and like I tell the fighters, you know what? You want to be a star in this business, you want to make a lot of money in this business, just win.
When can we expect Michael Venom Page and Linton Vassell's opponents to be announced?
I would say probably in the next couple of weeks. We'll have something to announce, and it'll be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. This is gonna be a well-rounded card, and I think that the fans will really, really enjoy it. We'll bring Kimbo back here in a couple of weeks when he's healthy, and you guys can interview him, grill him, say, "Where are you, Kimbo? James Thompson called you out."
As well, it's kind of been Bellator partnered with the Seni Combat and Strength show in London. I see you guys for your fan experience of bringing over Hoist, who was fantastic today, and Fedor Emelianenko, the legend of mixed martial arts. In terms of bringing them over, firstly, was how excited are you to be bringing them to the UK?
Yeah, not only am I excited, they're excited too. I mean, Hoist is here all the time, but Fedor wanted to come, and we're trying to bring either Tito or Randy or one of those guys too. And we put on an amazing fan fest, and we're going to do it, with Phil here. And it'll be great for the fans. Come in, sign autographs, get to meet these guys. And they're very, they're fan friendly. And we wanted to do this because how great, like when I grew up watching boxing, as a kid. Hey, come meet Sugar Ray Leonard. Come meet Marvin Hagler. Come meet Roberto Duran. I would have loved that. And so, when I thought about the fan experience here, it just made a lot of sense. Hey, come sign autographs, come touch and feel and shake hands, and it'll be a great treat for the UK fans.
In terms with the people you're bringing across, in terms of media, will there be any sort of media obligations that those guys have to do? Is it all strictly sort of for the fans?
No, they'll do some media surrounding the event. They're here to help promote, but the fan fest, they'll be there doing their thing, and like I said, how often do you get to come in and say hello and be that close to them and shake hands, take pictures? But they will have some media obligations. So you get to interview Fedor. I'll make sure you get to interview, Hoist and all the other guys.
We'll hold you to that.
Yeah, we will actually.
I think I can do that.
Back onto this card we've got going. We spoke about a few of the British talent. Paul Daly, it makes sense obviously commercially the fight because it's cost-check. It's a rematch that's been years in the making. But in terms of his career journey, if he wins, where will that place him? He's obviously on a really good streak at the moment. You could argue that he'd be a fight or two away from a title shot. You don't think that this fight will do that, obviously. So where do you see this fight placing him?
Well, our title fight with Benson Henderson and Koreshkov is happening this Friday. Let's see how Paul does, and then there's going to be a timing issue. Does all line up? But I'm telling you right now, if things go well for Paul, I don't see him, not being in the title shot slot. I think that he could be there before the end of the year or beginning of next year. I mean, come on, this guy's already fought everybody. He's already done it all, right? I mean, he could get a title shot, even before this fight, and I would feel good about it because he's on such a tear right now. So I don't think that we're going to hold him back or I think the title's important to him. We're going to give him a shot at some point. But man, can you imagine Benson Henderson or Koreshkov fighting Daly? That would be huge. Maybe we'll do it here in London.
Is this going to be a staple of the yearly calendar for Bellator?
You know what? I'd like to do multiple fights here a year, honestly. And they don't have to all be the big tentpole, but we could do some other smaller fights. And it just makes sense because if you look at the great fighters that we have signed from here, and then you look at all the support from Channel 5, Spike UK, Spike USA, it's all one company. And Channel 5 is it's a hub for them. So, they're doing business here. So why not come here and promote?
How important was that? Obviously, it was announced that Spike TV in the UK will have prelims, and then the main card will go live out on Channel 5, one of the biggest audiences in the UK. Was that one of the most pivotal points for Bellator negotiating this show?
It wasn't even like a negotiation. It was something that they wanted to do. Okay. And right now it airs on Spike UK. Numbers have been growing. They told me today, every week our numbers are growing on Spike UK. Not every week, but every time we throw a fight, the numbers are growing, increasing. And they really are enjoying the property, and when we do big fights like this, we'll be on Channel 5, so we're excited.
Got to ask quickly about Hoyce. I spoke to him just then, and you saw what he said up there, never say never. In your mind, what have you got in mind for Hoyce?
Well, I'm not sure. Are you busy in a couple months? Or?
Yeah, completely full calendar.
Yeah, you know what, I totally understand. But, listen, this guy has been an icon in the sport, a legend in the sport, fought everybody. Like you said, he didn't ever pick his opponent. He said, go fight this guy. All right, I'll go fight him. The family said, go fight this guy. All right, I'll go fight him. And that's a true martial artist there, right? True martial artist. And seeing him fight Ken, to me, was like a continuation of his martial arts journey, right? And, could you say he could do it again? Maybe. There's nothing in the works, but you never know.